deliver different kinds of aerospace products and space products into the global marketplace. Well, I'm very happy to be here. Okay. Yesterday I got a text from my wife to say we had another 10 centimeters of snow, and she complained that I wasn't home to help her shovel. So I'm really happy to be here. Okay. So today I really like to spend some time to talk about Canada and to talk about the Canadian aerospace industry in specifically. I also want to talk about why we think we're different than aerospace industries right across the globe. I really want to kind of leave you with three messages, if I can, and I'll talk about those as I go through. We are one of the most established aerospace industries in the world, but before I do that, I'd just like to spend some time and talk a little bit about Canada. So Canada is very large. If you superimpose Canada on this region here, in this region of the globe, you can see how big Canada really is. So if you look at what I call our Middle East triangle, we go everywhere. We go north to Kazakhstan, down southwest to the Sudan, and then southeast over to India. So that's the size of the country that we have. So we are a very big country. And with being very big, it's also very remote. But remote ensures that there are challenges, but there are also significant opportunities. So if you look at the challenges of Canada, we have to provide services, we have to provide infrastructure, transportation, you have to build schools, you have to build hospitals, you have to have community services such as libraries, and you have to do that for the whole of the country. And being such a vast country, that's really, really difficult. On the opportunity side, there are some real benefits to the Canadian aerospace industry. So when you look at it, we need a lot of space assets, right? Because we are trying to provide services all across the country. Okay, banking, for example, communications, right? These are all services that people expect in their communities. So that allows us to grow a very large space industry so that we can provide those types of assets. We need assets to protect our coastlines and protect our sovereignty and our security. So that requires that we have substantial Air Force, for example. So we need fighter jet capability, we need search and rescue capability. So those are the kinds of things that the government requires and that really help our industry, because as we acquire those types of things, we also demand that as government is procuring those types of assets, that they ensure that there's industrial development done throughout the country. And of course, we need a robust transportation system, which really means trains, planes, and automobiles. So as we build those 34,000 new aircraft, my job is to make sure that Canada and our partners get as much as that as we possibly can. If you wanted to translate that into what it means in dollars, that's $5.9 trillion worth of work. And I think that's pretty substantial. On the space side, we are seeing new things like the use of microsatellites. And the microsatellites are extremely powerful, and the data that they're being able to provide back to Earth is just absolutely astounding. And big data now is a huge downstream industry for the space industry. Of course, last week in our federal budget, we recommitted to Canada participating with global partners, going back to the moon and onto Mars. So space over the next 15 years is going to be extremely exciting. There is going to be all kinds of new technology about how we observe, our world, and then the data that comes with it. And then, of course, there's the space exploration side about we're going back to the moon, and of course that'll allow us to go to Mars. Our success as a global leader, as I mentioned to some people last night when we got together, is that we just don't build planes for Canada. We actually build planes for the whole world. We're a very export-oriented country. In aerospace, 80% of what we produce, we export. 60% of that goes directly into the global supply chain. And you can see where those products actually go. One reason for our success is actually companies want to be in Canada. The use of Canada to drive their expansion into global markets is one of the reasons why you see so many multinationals in Canada. So just to give you an example, worldwide companies like Rolls-Royce, GE, Pratt & Whitney, there's a Pratt & Whitney Canada, there's a GE Canada, there's Rolls-Royce Canada. Canada is really a perfect place for them to do a lot of their R&D because of our R&D environment and our tax environment. And that leads to a lot of technology development and a lot of next generation innovation. In terms of industry experience, as I mentioned to you, we're ranked #1 in the world in terms of productivity. And that's really a picture of the quality of the executives that we have in Canada and the quality of the workforce that we have in Canada. Most of the quality programs in Canadian manufacturing facilities are lean, and as you see, we pay a lot of attention to it because we are ranked #1 in terms of productivity. We do have a supply chain, as I mentioned, of over 500 companies, and they are all very global facing. In our membership, we have our membership goes from companies like Bombardier that would have 40,000 employees down to a company that may be a engineer design shop that may just have like 4 people inside their operation. Technology, innovation, capacity and capability, that is first to fifth.
الحقيقة غرفة تجارة صناعة الكويت بين فترة والثانية تسوي مثل هذه اللقاءات مع الوفود الأجنبية. احنا اليوم كان معنا الوفد الكندي، كان متخصص فقط في الافييشن والسبيس، كانوا مركزين على القطاع هذا، وكان في بعض الشركات الكويتية المهتمة في الاستثمار في هذا القطاع. وأنا أعتقد يعني هذا القطاع وايد مهم يعني حاليا في الفترة اللي احنا نمر فيها، يوفر علينا الوقت، يوفر علينا الجهد، وأيضا في يعني إمكانية كبيرة للاستثمار في هذا القطاع سواء في كندا أو في الخليج، يعني خصوصا الكويت. يعني احنا مركزين يعني على يعني قانون الاستثمار الأجنبي. الشركات الكندية ممكن أنها تستثمر في الكويت 100% برأس مال أجنبي، أو من خلال مستثمر كويتي ممكن يعني يدخل معاهم كشريك. فيعني مثل هاللقاءات هذه تقوي العلاقة، تعزز العلاقة مع الدول، تعطينا بوست أقوى في العلاقات الدولية الاقتصادية. فبين فترة والثانية الغرفة تعقد مثل هذه اللقاءات. حقيقة يعني احنا لما بلغونا الجماعة في هذا السكتر يعني وكونها ندوة متخصصة أو وفد متخصص في الافييشن لأول مرة، وكان لنا مداخلة معهم يعني على هذا الأمر، وأصروا على أن احنا نكون فقط في الافييشن. ما في قطاع ما في معوقات، ولكن احنا نحاول نحل بعض هذه المعوقات ونحاول نسهل على المستثمر مع القطاعات المختلفة في الدولة. وهذا دور الغرفة يعني سواء للمستثمر الأجنبي أو المحلي. يعني احنا نتكلم عن في يعني عدة قطاعات، يعني الرقم ما يحضرني في هذه اللحظة، ولكن احنا نتكلم عن يعني حجم متواضع، نأمل أنه يكون أكبر من المتوقع اللي احنا نقول عنه في السنوات يعني القادمة، لأن في بالاستثمار أكثر من التجارة البينية. أرقام الاستثمار ما هي واضحة عندنا، يعني في يعني احنا قطاع الافييشن هذا يعني احنا نأمل أنه يكون من القطاعات المهمة. في قطاعات أخرى كثيرة في مجال الاستثمار داخل كندا، في مجالات متعددة، ما نقدر نحط يعني خلينا نقول مجال معين نتكلم عنه، على أساس أنه دائما الاستثمار الأجنبي عندنا مشكلة في تجميع أرقامه وحتى المجالات.